there any truth to the matter?
Mm-hmm.
I get more inquiries out of that. I'm finding that the individual members have a hard time accepting that they are, in fact, part of an organization that does, in some way, support a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. And are they? or are you, I should say?
Am I supporting a conspiracy?
Yeah.
No. No.
Well, so tell me about the movies and the books here then. The Da Vinci Code, National Treasure. Who is behind them? Is this a recruiting campaign on one level?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You know what it is? It's a unique opportunity for the fellows that are writing the books. It's like identifying what is popular at the time, picking up on that, and building around certain truths,
mm-hmm.
and developing it in a fictional manner that it is really quite entertaining, and I really enjoy watching these movies because I probably, of anybody, see a lot more symbolism in the movies than even is intended, and I sit there and chuckle
exactly.
and laugh.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is that I don't know if any of your readers have seen the National Treasure, the original National Treasure movie. That starts out, there's a vignette at the start where the grandfather explains a story of their family involvement centuries ago with the founding fathers of the American Revolution. A number of them were Masons.
Right.
And he explains the Knights Templar treasure and the continuation of the treasure, and the whole movie is based upon that. That is taken out of my first book, The Knights Templar in the New World.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The first chapter is I speak about this ancient symbol that was shown to me by my great uncle, who was like my grandfather because my grandfather was dead at the time, shown to me when I was a teenager.
Mm.
And there's that direct correlation, and they built upon that, and then the story takes off.
Do you think someone has take a peek in your book and snatched it, so to speak?
Oh, I know they did.
Really?
Oh, I know they did.
Okay. Have you been in contact with anyone from within the research of the movie itself?
Yes. They phoned me a number of times, and they were asking me a number of questions. And this is one thing that I find with the information that I've uncovered. I always say no one person has all the information.
Right.
Has all the knowledge. And it's like in talking to you through this radio program, I find that, and I can guarantee that as soon as I do this radio program, as I've done with a number of other programs, people will be searching me out from around the world. I'll come home one day and my wife says, somebody from Australia was phoning trying to find you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everybody phones and they always claim that they have a little piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always because their great uncle was a Mason, high-ranking Mason. Their father was involved in it. They believe that they are a remnant of this holy bloodline. A branch of their family ties back into certain royal lines, Merovingian lines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I have to tell you is that what's really interesting, I'm working on my third book, and one of the things that I've always asked myself is, why me? Why is all of this coming to me? And a number of the older gentlemen who I've talked to always suggested that say, my dear boy, it's in your bloodline.
Mm.
And so one thing I've been doing is I've been researching my bloodline for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that the Mann family, I've done I have a number of Sinclair friends, and through the Sinclair research project.
William, hold on right there, because we're going to do like this. We're running out of time here in our first segment, and what I'd like to do is dive into this area in the subscriber section.
Okay.
But before we do that, though, I wanna talk a little bit about your books. I want you to mention the titles again. I also want to, you should give out the website where people can go and, and get your books in case they're interested in finding out more about this.
Sure, that'd be great. The first title of the book is The Knights Templar in the New World, and that's available at www.innertraditions.com. Inner Traditions is my publisher out of Vermont, but it's also available in most of the larger bookstores in North America here, I know. In actual fact, I know it's available in some of the bookstores in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
The second book is called The Templar Meridians, The Secret Mapping of the New World, and it's really a continuation of the first book. In the first book, I talk about the Knights Templar coming in 1398 through Prince Henry St. Clair and 500 Templars, and bringing with them what they considered to be the Holy Grail to Nova Scotia, what is now Nova Scotia in North America, and developing strategic interrelationships with the Mi'kmaq Indians, the native Indians. And the second book, this Templar Meridians, picks up on this notion that this group of Templars with their Grail treasure, along with certain bands of Indians, moved inwards through North America. And it was only through the strategic intermarriages of the Templars and the native Indians that this was made possible. Again, that book is available at www.innertraditions.com or through your local bookstore.
Fascinating, and that's a little area that I do want to dive into here in our next segment to talk about the intermarriage, so to speak, with the native Indians, what was happening there, and also a little bit about the Grail, a little bit more about your potential connection to the Sinclairs and the DNA aspect that we haven't kind of dived into yet. But so much more is to come here. But before we round things off here, I want to ask, do you or your order have a website that people can look at, you know?
Well, we do have a small website.
Mm-hmm.
And but I would suggest that you not go to that, because that is just the typical order website.
Okay.
I'm developing a website. It will be www.templargold.com.
Mm-hmm.
Because in part I'm off on this trek now with a number of relations that I've developed through my DNA with Native Americans. And we are going treasure hunting, and that will be part of a documentary over the next 2 years that we're developing. And we're following the trail of Prince Henry St. Clair, his Templars, and his native guides across North America to the western United States, where I believe that the Templar treasure and also the bones of Prince Henry St. Clair are buried.
Really? Okay. Well, I definitely want to ask you a little bit about that here in the next segment. Red Ice Creations members tune in to our very interesting continuation with William F. Mann, as we'll discuss the Sinclairs, DNA research, longevity, bloodlines, the Grail, the Vikings, and the Native American connection. If you want to hear our continuation, head on over to redicecreations.com, and from there you'll find out how you can sign up and tune in. Thank you for listening, and my thanks to producer Fredrik Palmgren behind the controls. Upcoming guests, we have David Serida and David Flynn, so do stay tuned. Until next time, take good care. This is Henrik Palmgren. Talk later.
Mouth is open wide, the lover is inside, and all the tumult's done, collided with the sun. You're staring at the sun, you're standing in the sea, your body's over me.